All right, everybody. Welcome back to the third episode of the CrossCast Podcast. It's been away for a while, but we're back. And when I say we're back, I mean me and Bolt, because the other two are busy right now.
Fucking nerds!
Exactly. You see, this is why Bolt is the unofficial member of the CrossFactor crew. He always fills in when everyone else won't. He's a real MVP.
I try.
How's your week been, man? How have you been?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I haven't done much besides play. What did I play? I played some ukulele because that came out, so that was fun. I
Still need to buy that myself.
I think I played an hour of that, maybe 2 hours. That was fun. And that's it. That was my week.
For my week, I've pretty much just been playing. I downloaded the latest build of Hyper Dragon Ball Z, and if you don't know what that is, definitely go check it out because it's a really awesome fan game. And I've just been practicing combos in that for a time. Ramon's gonna be super pissed about this when he actually hears me say this on the podcast. But I once again restarted my Dark Souls playthrough despite not finishing the game at all. Why? Because I wanted to start a new build. I swear, this is like the fifth time I've restarted the game.
I never got too much into Dark Souls, honestly. It wasn't my cup of tea.
I can understand that. And, I've also been playing through Banjo-Kazooie as well in preparation before I actually buy ukulele.
If you're still enjoying Banjo, you're probably going to enjoy ukulele. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah. I think I'm on the fourth world so far, and I've been enjoying my time, so.
Yeah. I love Banjo. I didn't like. It wasn't like a nostalgic love. I played Banjo for the first time in full last year, and I love Banjo.
Oh yeah, it's a great game. And besides that, just been plowing through some art, getting some more ideas down on. I was gonna say on paper, but I'm doing digital art, so more like on the screen.
On iPad.
And yeah, on iPad. And also been playing a ton of Overwatch this week. Well, pretty much this week and
That's
last
always
week.
fun. Didn't they just put out an update or something?
Yeah, Overwatch Uprising.
That's always cool. I don't follow Overwatch at all. I see what my friends post on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, that's a game.
Yeah. And besides that, honestly, there really hasn't been much else to my week other than that. So I guess without further ado, now that our weeks are over, we can get into the first bit of news here. And again, this might be covering some news from last week, so at the time of this recording, so just bear with us. So, Overwatch's Insurrection event got leaked, I believe, last week, and then it released this week. And it's pretty much just a new mode with a ton of new skins, new sprays, stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much standard stuff for an Overwatch update.
It's always cool. What's the new mode?
It's a new mode called, I believe it's called Uprising, where it's like think of it Left 4 Dead style, where it's a group of 4 and it's a horde mode kind of thing.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I believe it has 2 separate modes, I believe. One where you have to play as Tracer, Mercy, Reinhardt, and Torbjorn. And then there's a separate mode where you can do the same game mode, but with any character if you're choosing.
Oh, that's neat.
So that's
always
fun.
Neat when it locks it to a character, because that kind of makes it more like a class-based game, which is always cool.
Yeah. So next up on the list, Bayonetta just came out to Steam for $19.99.
Yeah,
and,
I did not expect that, honestly. I didn't know it wasn't on Steam, and once they said it came out, I was like, wait, that makes total sense. Why wasn't it on Steam, and B, why is it out now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I remember they did it last week for the April Fool's event where they had the 8-bit Bayonetta game, and then they said they also had an announcement for April 11th, and I'm like, that's not going to come to PC. They're not going to do that. And then they brought it to PC.
And I heard it's like full 60 FPS.
4K resolution.
Yeah, was it 4K?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. That's nuts. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's always good to see. Okay, so moving on from that, Star Wars Battlefront 2 just got leaked online, and then today I believe there was also an official trailer put out.
Don't.
I wish I could say I cared, but I don't.
Don't call it.
Yeah. Well, it's just I played Star Wars Battlefront, like the one by EA, and it's honestly, if you play it for a week, you've pretty much seen everything.
No, that's exactly what I did. I played it for a week. It was really fun for that week, but incredibly frustrating. I felt disappointed even though I only paid $10 for the game. And
me and my brother combined paid $90 for that game.
Oh.
And after a week, we put it down.
Yeah, it's hopefully I don't want to bet against Battlefront any time because I mean it can always make it superb, honestly. But
yeah, like the concept of the game is superb. It's just that the execution that time around was really poor.
yeah, having 10 guns, that's not good. You don't just have 10 guns in a shooter. It just didn't click because most of them felt the same and every gun was perfectly accurate. And maps were good though. I like the maps.
Yeah, the maps are cool, but it's just like, honestly, like my biggest problem was just that everything just felt so repetitive, and yeah, the lack of like a diverse weapon pool really killed the game.
Yeah, I mean once everyone got
pretty much
the Han gun, it was done.
Yeah, it was done. Yeah, everyone would just be running around with those.
I wasn't a fan of how they gave you vehicles and stuff. I thought that was kind of fucking stupid. I liked the idea, like in principle, of the little icon popping down and hey, you have to be the first to that icon to get it. But I'm pretty sure they spawned in the same place every friggin' time, so it was the same as putting a vehicle there, except that you couldn't be camped. So it was like why? Just make better maps.
Yeah, but it's not to be. Hopefully Battlefront 2 will actually improve on that, because again, like I said, I had fun with the game for a week. It's just they gotta expand on Battlefront 2 to make it so that enjoyment lasts more than a week.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up on the list, the Xbox Project Scorpio's dev kit has been fully revealed, and holy hell, this is a monster of a console because we've got an 8-core CPU running at 2.3 gigahertz, 12 gigabytes of GDR5 RAM with a bandwidth of 32 gigs per second, and 6 teraflops worth of power, and it also comes with 1 terabyte solid state drive, along with a standard 1 terabyte hard drive, if I'm looking at this correctly. But again, remember, this is a dev kit, not a final unit, so don't expect a solid state in the final unit.
Yeah, I still don't see the point because
for me, I get it. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. They're like, hey, if for people, like, they saw the PS4 Pro, and they're like, okay, people are willing to like trade in their Xboxes that they have now for a better version, or just outright buy a better version if they don't have an Xbox already. But my take on it is that you can do that, and that's all fine and dandy, but considering how much more powerful this is than the Xbox One already, this thing is going to cost a fuck ton of money.
It's probably going to cost a lot. I would probably $500. It could be $4 still, even if the price comes down by the time it launches. But it's going to be more expensive than anything out right now for what is effectively an updated current gen system with no promise whatsoever that the update's actually going to matter outside of bells and whistles. Your games,
because as they've mandated, they stated that all Xbox One games will run on Scorpio, and as a result, all Scorpio games have to be Xbox One games as well.
Yeah, all it's gonna do is either shaft the Xbox One gamers or trick the Xbox One Scorpio gamers into buying something they really, really don't need. I understand the reasoning because every console had a slimline, and this is just an extension of that philosophy of slimline consoles, but I don't see it working. I think it's just going to screw one side over either way.
Yeah, because along with that thinking, when I first saw it and I saw the full specs, I just thought to myself, I already have a capable gaming PC, and if I'm being honest, I'd rather take the money that I could use to buy something like this and just put it towards a better GPU upgrade and be done with it. Because my system already is more powerful than the Xbox One and the PS4 standard as it is now. So if I really wanted to get to something like the Xbox Scorpio's level, I could just replace my GPU and be done with it.
Well, my thing isn't even that necessarily. My thing is that console gamers, and I say this as a console gamer who is also a tech guy, I don't game on my PC because I do work on my PC. So I don't like putting work and play on the same system because then I'm just going to sit there playing games on my computer all day rather than doing work. So I prefer separate, simple, plug-and-play systems because every time I've tried to game on PC, the few times I've tried, it's just pulling teeth for me. It's just, driver updates that decide not to work that I have to uninstall and reinstall. I don't have good luck with it. And the whole reason console gamers...
And I can certainly understand that.
The whole reason console gamers prefer consoles is because it's simple. They don't want to have to go through the effort of A, building a PC in the first place, and B, keeping their PC perfectly up to date so that all games work. And I think that the Scorpio and also the PS4 Pro sort of start pushing towards that PC architecture where it's, if you don't have the current line, you're getting much less of an experience. And I think that's going to hurt it in the public eye a little bit. Unless, and I'm sure this is going to happen, we see a Microsoft VR hybrid come in that's compatible with Scorpio. That'll probably be what they go for to try and sell the Scorpio.
Absolutely. And yeah, honestly, I'm pretty much in the same boat. Like, I can see somewhat of an appeal, but I don't necessarily seeing it being that huge of a revelation. Like, I think it'll start off well from like people who are really into gaming, who really want like the next biggest thing, who have to hop on like the new electronic that's coming out. And then after that, I'm not necessarily sure if I see it taking off, because besides like the hardcore base who are really gonna like delve into that kind of thing, like let's say like a standard mom and pop shop, like a mom or a dad goes into a gaming store and they see an Xbox One Slim for like $250, and then they see the Xbox Scorpio, and they both play the same games, they both do the same thing, one's just prettier than the other. So in their mind, they would say, well, why spend $500 for something like that when the Xbox One already looks good enough to like the majority of audiences? It's pretty much just more money for something they won't even really notice.
Yeah, and the other thing I think is this is probably too little too late for the Xbox in particular, because it's over. Sony won. I mean, there's not really any way that I see the momentum flipping enough here. It's not like the PS3 and 360 where one of them had a head start and the other had horrible PR but slowly pulled back. The only thing that Microsoft legitimately, objectively has going for it is that their Games with Gold is much, much more worth it, I would say. I don't want to say worth it because that makes me look bad as someone who reviews PS Plus games. It's much more meaty to it. They give you full actual console games. Oh, and they have the backwards compatibility with 360. That's always nice.
That too.
But other than that, there's not anything I see that pushes the Xbox One any further above the PS4 than it would have before with Scorpio. And I think now that the Switch is out too, I think people are probably more likely to actually jump on the Switch bandwagon once that starts having, units that exist than upgrade. Because I know, at least, and this is anecdotal evidence, but I know I have a friend who he has an Xbox One, and he was saying like he's just tired of the lack of actual exclusive games, so he was ready to cave, sell his Xbox One, either buy a Switch or buy a PS4 and get a Switch later.
And I definitely have to agree with that mentality, because besides Halo, which is slowly losing relevancy, and I say this as a longtime Halo fan, is slowly losing relevancy. And they have Gears of War, which is, again, also on PC. So it's like, what do they really have in terms of exclusives?
I mean, at this point, I expect Halo 6 to be on PC as well.
I totally expect
with
that. With
Halo Wars 2 being PC as well as Xbox One, I think they're done. I think this is their way of easing their way into a PC box market instead of a console market.
Mm-hmm. So, again, we'll have to see how that goes. But anyway, moving on from that, in some more positive news in Microsoft's case, Microsoft has now begun to offer digital refunds for Xbox titles and Windows Store titles as well.
Really? I had no idea about that. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, so I believe it works similarly in the same way that Steam refunds work. Actually, yeah, it's right here. So games and apps are eligible for self-service refunds within 14 days of purchase and less than 2 hours of playtime across all your accounts. DLC, season passes, and add-ons are not eligible for self-service refunds, however.
I'm okay with that. That sounds pretty fair.
That sounds pretty fair.
There's no real negative to having some kind of policy like that, but I don't know. People find a way.
I honestly, I can't think. Yeah, again, like you said, I really can't think of any way that this can be construed as a negative. It's all around positive, like more choice to the consumer.
Yeah.
And so, moving on from that, just a little tidbit for this: Rick and Morty are to celebrate April 20th with a VR game. I don't really care much for Rick and Morty myself, so I can't really say anything on this. But it's good for the people who enjoy Rick and Morty, I guess.
Yeah, I have no comment.
Yeah. So moving on from that, Ever Oasis is coming out this June. I remember seeing trailers for this game, and it didn't really catch my interest that much, but maybe if I see more of the game, I might get into it, but as of right now, it's not really that interesting to me at all.
I think it looks cool, and I think it's probably going to be a little more charming than anybody really expects it to be, but I think it's probably too little too late for 3DS JRPGs. I think we've kind of crossed that, and that, I mean, there's that, and I'm sure we're going to talk about the rest of the Switch Direct. But there's that. There's Monster Hunter Pokemon game, whatever that is, and a bunch of other games coming out all on 3DS that are all JRPGs. And I think that's done. I don't think we're going to see much more as far as actual meaningful sales from those kind of games.
Yeah, I would say so too. So moving on from that, we've got a ton of news from the Nintendo Direct that just recently happened to cover. So to go into that, Bye Bye Box Boy is coming to 3DS in mid-April.
Actually, it came out. It's already out.
Oh, it's already okay. So it's already out.
Yeah, I think it came out that very day, actually. Okay. So that's out, and I believe that closes the trilogy of Box Boy games, which I never played, but I kind of want to now.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard good things too.
Wait, hold on. I know you said trilogy. Is there 3 games?
There's Box Boy, Box Boy, and Bye Bye Box Boy, I think.
Oh, okay. I actually never knew of the second one. I only heard of the first one and the last one.
I'm pretty sure they all came out in the span of a year. Like, I don't know when the original came out, but they all just kind of, like, 1, 2, 3 just came out.
I honestly think the last one came out last year. I think the first one came out last year, actually.
I think so. So they got the whole trilogy done in about a year, which is interesting.
So we've also got Hey Pikmin for 3DS coming this July, a side-scrolling Pikmin game. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't actually get a chance to watch the Direct live. I only managed to catch tidbits of it afterwards, so I might not have known everything that's coming in this Nintendo Direct. So do you know anything about this game? Because I'm not really sure.
It's the same Pikmin game they showed off for 3DS last year, rather, not a few months ago. It's just it's Chibi Robo Whiplash, but with Pikmin. So it's a franchise that isn't a 2D franchise that they turned into a 2D franchise because I don't fucking know.
Because Nintendo.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
It's always a valid answer.
It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look.
Honestly, it just kind of looks like a throwaway title, like something like they said, okay, we need something for 3DS, so let's just do this.
Yeah, at this point, I honestly they said they're supporting the 3DS. They are, but I don't think in the right way.
Support in massive air quotes.
Yeah. So that's a game.
So that's a thing. Next up, we've got ARMS, which is hitting Nintendo Switch in June, and I was hyped for this game before, and this trailer just really sold me on the game. I'm really looking forward to this.
I kind of went the opposite, actually. My buddy and I were talking about this. I was interested in the game vaguely, mainly because I was hoping, and I still hope to God they do this, but I hope this game gets to EVO and they ban the Pro Controller. So you have to do the fucking punches, because that would be worth watching. And
I would totally love to see that.
And I say that would be worth watching because if you watch they showed off a full battle in game, commentated by whatever the hell that announcer guy was, and it's so slow. Like, I'm hoping it was just because like both players who were playing were clearly trying to show the game off and be very slow, but oh my god, like that.
Is it really that slow?
It made Pokken look like friggin' Smash, and Pokken was kind of slow already. Like,
yeah, and Pokken's not necessarily the fastest fighter around.
And Pokken can be fast, but this game, it already kind of gave me Pokken vibes because it's got that over-the-shoulder perspective going for most of the game.
Yeah, the camera angle.
It's got cool mechanics, but I'm guessing they didn't want it to be too fast-paced because they want you to do it with your punches, and they don't want to give controller players an advantage, but I'm not sold on it anymore. I think I have to see what the metagame looks like. I don't want to say the metagame, but I have to see how it looks when actual players play it, because I don't think I can play a game that slow.
I'm on a little bit of a contrary, because I saw the speed, and I think for me personally the speed looks acceptable. Like, yeah, I'm totally used to like faster fighters because I'm more of a traditional fighting game player where it comes to like 2D stuff, Street Fighter, Marvel with stuff like that, Smash Bros, etc, etc, etc. But like, I honestly thought the speed for this game didn't look abysmal. Like, yeah, it's definitely on the slower side, but I don't think it's to the point where like I couldn't play the game or something like that. Again, I haven't tried the game, so I can't say final judgment, but it didn't look terrible to me. And some like off-screen footage that I've seen of other people playing it, like people who actually have experience with games and aren't just like first timers, it definitely looks like it can definitely be faster.
That's what
once people actually pick it up.
It seems like there's a lot of strategy to it, which I think is going to be really good. Though I think the strategy is tied to the single player, not the strategy, but the different like fist types and the different arm types. I think they're all tied to the single player, which is an interesting choice because you're essentially locking online. Like it's going to be that kind of game now where people probably just share save files just to get to a competitive level. Oh, so yeah. I don't know if I would have done it that way. I probably would have done it via credits, and then use the credits, winning online matches or something like that on top of single player matches. But I hope it's good because I think it's good. It's a good little gap title that'll last a year, not a year, but it'll last a couple months until Splatoon comes out the next month. So yeah, that's all I really need it for.
So moving on from that, I shouldn't say moving on. In addition to that, along with the announcement of ARMS hitting in the Switch in June, we also got confirmation of a new Joy-Con color, bright yellow, and we also got the confirmation of a battery pack, both of them coming this summer.
That was kind of cool. The battery pack almost looked like it was made for ARMS, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, a lot of people like when I was browsing NeoGAF, reading reactions to the Direct, a lot of people were saying that it looks like a mold for ARMS specifically.
Because it looks like they want you to grip it more like a boxing glove.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I think that's kind of cool. I'm wondering why they did it specifically that way, or how the hell that works, honestly, because it looks like. It looked like they almost like plug in batteries, but I think you charge it. But I don't know how it attaches. Like it's so.
It uses the battery pack runs on AA batteries.
Okay, it does. So I thought there was a battery slot for it. I see that I don't know about, but whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't look unwieldy or anything like that, but
I just think if you're going to sell
it definitely has more bulk to the controller.
If you're going to sell a peripheral that you're already selling as an extension, you shouldn't have to buy batteries on top of it. I think they could have made it so it just charges with USB-C, just like the Switch itself, and you could have just thrown it on a USB-C charger, and then or even a micro USB charger, honestly, because everyone has one of those. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like when it comes to AA batteries, but I can definitely see why you say that. Like, just have it like use proprietary stuff or something.
Well,
like that.
and my other concern, now that I'm thinking about it, is. Anything I've used, like as far as game controllers that use batteries, tends to be really unreliable with the actual like pin connectors within that. So this is a controller you're going to be throwing like you're punching something several times a second on paper. I mean, not literally per second, but you're going to be punching a lot. So you're going to be shaking those batteries. So if any single piece of that battery pack gets loose, it's dead. You're screwed. Mm-hmm. So, because I know, like, with my Xbox 360 controllers, I've never had, in the time I had a 360, every single controller I had that little battery pack fall apart at some point because you have to chop.
Oh, yep.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, every single Xbox 360 controller I have that has a battery pack has done that. Every single one.
And I think that's a Microsoft thing, not a Nintendo thing, so I'm sure Nintendo will handle it better, but it doesn't give me confidence when a controller that I'm not shaking has a battery pack made of crap, and one that I'm going to be shaking also has AA batteries. I don't know. Again,
we'll have to see like it in actual practice, but it doesn't necessarily inspire confidence.
Yeah. On top of that, I know they announced that the Nintendo Switch dock is going to be for sale standalone starting later this month, I think, or later in the summer.
I believe it's the 19th of this month. Could be wrong.
So that's nice.
It's either the 19th of this month or the 19th of next month.
Either way, that's nice. Though the price is.
Wait, what was the price again?
I think
for
it's
$80.
I don't remember.
$80.
Like, I think for an extra dock, like, and I don't think it's probably going to come with a dock. I would hope it comes with the extra charger.
I would assume it'd probably come with an extra charger.
I mean, knowing Nintendo,
you're right, but
I hope it comes with an extra charger. I hope it comes with a USB cable too, because at $80, you better fucking give me a USB cable or a HDMI cable. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
so moving on from that, Splatoon 2 is confirmed to launch in July, and we also got a new confirmation of a Horde mode.
Horde mode was one of the things I was asking for Splatoon 2, honestly, because I'm completely happy with how that looks. I hope there's more than one map. Looked like they only kind of showed off one map. Maybe they showed off more that I didn't notice, but
I believe, as far as I remember, I think they only showed off that one.
Yeah.
But I would assume they'd probably have more.
If not, we'll probably get more as free updates, so I can't complain too much, but it looks cool. It looks interesting. I like the mechanic where you can revive your own teammates easily rather than just being until you're all dead.
Yeah. And with addition with that, we also got confirmation of more amiibos. We got Inkling Girl, Inkling Boy, and Inkling Squid from Splatoon 2. So that's nice.
And they have a much better use in Splatoon 2 as well. They actually save your loadouts, and I think they gift you weapons and armor occasionally, but they save your loadouts so that you can bring your amiibo to a friend's house, and then you could use that amiibo to give your gear loadout right to your character in Splatoon 2 at a friend's house. So you're not at a disadvantage.
That's nice.
Which I thought was really cool. As for the release date, I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be like an August game, honestly. I thought it'd be like a late summer game. For this game to be coming out right dead center in the summer, I think is honestly great. I think it could have come out earlier. I think they could have pushed ARMS up a month to May if it was done, and they could have made Splatoon 2 around when ARMS releases, because I think ARMS releases the week of E3, like at the end of E3.
It's coming out.
From what I remember,
it comes out on June 16th.
So I think that's the last day of E3. So that would have been really cool for Splatoon 2 to come out at the last day of E3 and have ARMS come out like maybe May 15th.
Yeah.
And then you would have had Splatoon. All the students who get out for the summer would have Splatoon then. And that would have been a perfect way to get everyone to try and get a Switch over the summer, rather than just hopefully carry the momentum from Breath of the Wild through to when Mario comes out. If Mario comes out.
Yeah.
Speaking of Breath of the Wild, I'm going to go on a tangent for a second here. I don't know if you heard this. We got numbers for the U.S. sales of the Switch. So the Switch sold 906,000 units in the U.S. In March. So pretty much a million right there. Breath of the Wild sold 925,000 units on Switch in the U.S. So Breath of the Wild is the only game I've ever heard of that has more than 100% attach rate.
That is ridiculous. That game...
And it's not a bundled game.
Yeah, it's not a bundled game. You got to buy it standalone.
So, I really didn't have words when I heard this. I think...
that game drives people's nuts.
Yeah, apparently. I think that is ridiculous. And not in a bad way. I mean, maybe in a bad way. I don't really know. But I've never heard of a game come that close to 100% attach rate. I mean, Mario Kart 8 was the closest I ever heard of a mostly non-bundled game, which was, I think it had a 60% attach rate. And that's on the Wii U, which sold nothing.
Yeah.
To see Breath of the Wild perform this well, more importantly, to see the Switch perform as well as it did in March. The Switch, according to NPD, has I think it's the second highest opening month of all time.
And I believe it's also Nintendo's fastest selling game system of all time.
It just passed the Game Boy Advance.
It just passed the Game Boy Advance. Okay.
So the only consoles.
And in addition to that.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah. In addition to that, I believe as of right now, it's currently sold 2.4 million consoles in its first month.
Oh, did we get confirmation of an actual number?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if they got through that yet, because I know they're doing an investor meeting the day before Mario Kart 8 Plus comes out, and they're going to talk about the sales in specific there. But what was I going to say? Oh, the Switch, as far as sales numbers go, the only two consoles that have performed better than the Switch in their first month were the PS4 with 1.4 million-ish in the US, and the Xbox One, actually, which had, I think, 909,000. So the Xbox One and the Switch pretty much tied.
Okay.
But the thing to note there, is that the Switch came in on, I think, 2 months of hype package, and obviously the usual hype before that, but it came in on 2 months of hype package and Zelda. And it came out in March. So I'm not trying to oversell Nintendo's success here, but that's a really good number for March.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, credit where credit's due. Those are really good numbers.
I mean, I know I was talking to another buddy of mine, and he was very more grounded with his opinion of it. He thought it was stupid that it released in March, and I would disagree. Like his mindset was they should have just delayed Zelda and not released it on the Wii U, and just released it in fall with Splatoon, with Mario, and just release all of them at once. And I disagree. I think this was the right way to go for once from Nintendo. I think
because again, yeah, you don't want to put everything out at once, because if you do that, then you have nothing for the coming months where people are expecting, like, once people beat those games, and you know some people can beat games really quickly, they got nothing else to look forward to for the coming months. So you definitely want to space stuff out.
At this point, the only month that doesn't have a big game, as far as I know, a big first party game, is going to be May, and there's one at the end of April and one at the start of June, and then one at the middle of July. There probably won't be an August game, but then we also have
most likely
we have E3 in June, so who fucking knows?
Yeah, it might even be like a mid-tier title. We're not really sure, but you know.
I mean, if the Pokemon Stars rumors are true, once that gets announced, it's game over.
I really want that to be true because I have Pokemon Sun and I just can't bring myself to pick my 3DS back up anymore. I really can't. Like, I know that sounds really weird, but like I just can't bring myself to play that.
No, I understand. I actually think I'm not a huge fan of Pokemon Sun and Moon. I think the game started off really poor and then got better and then got really good and then kind of ended on a sour note. I would buy Pokemon Stars on principle. Like, to have a home console, quote-unquote home console Pokemon game made by Game Freak, I don't even care if it's friggin' Unova. Because I'm not a Unova fan. I would still fucking buy it.
Yeah, I would, again, probably on principle, same here.
Like, yeah.
And also just due to the fact that I actually want to play Sun for myself.
Yeah. Anyway, we went on a bit of a tangent there, sorry.
Yeah, when I was going to say, speaking of Amiibos for Splatoon 2, we also got confirmation that the final Smash Bros. Amiibos are set to come out in July, July 21st specifically. And we've got both versions of Cloud, his Advent Children costume and his regular costume, both male and female Corrin, and both designs of Bayonetta, from Bayonetta 1 and 2 respectively.
Yeah,
and Nintendo just loves to take money out of people's hands.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I wish they would have retroactively released other different amiibos. Like, I would have liked the Alpha Amiibo from Pikmin, or anything like to that note. So we got a Dr. Mario, which we got Dr. Mario. We got we got all the side, the bonus characters, and Alf never got anything. And I think now that we're getting multiple amiibo for each character, it would have been cool just to have more multiple, we had what's it called, Famicom Rob. So
yeah,
I don't know, I would have liked having more than just these three, but the fact that they're coming out the same day as Splatoon, and the fact that they're actually saying like, hey, more Smash amiibo, makes me think that we might have a surprise at E3.
I'm fully expecting Smash to come to Switch at this point. I can't see a scenario where it's not happening.
Yeah, I think I've always been of the opinion that Smash 4 is coming to Switch in some way, even if it's a Smash 4 Deluxe like Mario Kart 8 is. And
I honestly, I wouldn't even have a problem with that.
No, I would love it, because
I would have no problem with that.
I think Smash 4 to me is the best Smash game. There's too many characters that are all relatively well balanced. I know that Bayonetta was broken and that there are still some really trash characters. Hello, Alf.
Yeah.
But I think there's no reason that they couldn't do without having to bring Sakurai back in and have him kill himself again, doing a port of Smash 4 with even all the stages from Smash 3DS and Wii U, and potentially more for all we know.
Yeah, and more so than anything, I definitely think Smash Bros. Wii U is definitely the most evergreen titles out of all the Smash Bros. Series, because I definitely think it's the one that you can carry over to pretty much any console generation and still keep going. Like Smash 64, Melee, and Brawl, they're all good games, don't get me wrong, but I think Smash 4 just has this certain thing where they just kept constantly updating the game over the course of its lifespan, that I just see it more as maybe not necessarily games as a surface type of game, but I just definitely see it as that kind of Smash Bros. Game that can pretty much go on for forever, in quotes there.
Yeah, I think some people aren't
they can just
of certain mechanics. I don't think some people are fans of it being more defense based than it is offense based, like other games were. But
yeah,
I heavily prefer Smash 4 to anything I've played before or since, as far as Smash goes. So any more Smash 4 is fine by me. Ideally with Shovel Knight, but whatever. I want Shovel Knight. I want Shovel Knight in Smash.
Still need to buy it.
I want him. Yeah.
So next up on the list, Bandai Namco is teasing a new project with a new trailer, with the title "Prepare to Dine," and I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, because a lot of people thought that had something to do with Dark Souls, but apparently this has nothing to do with it.
It's probably just them playing on the fact that it's Dark Souls, which whatever.
It's probably that. Yeah, it's probably that. Like, I can't see any other scenario like what this could be.
It's actually,
honestly, even the aesthetic kind of looks like Dark Souls if it was more cartoonized.
It's actually Dark Holes. You're just a donut hole.
Dark Hole. That actually sounds lewd.
Yeah, yeah.
It really does.
No, Dark Scones.
Dark Scones.
That's it.
Okay,
there
yeah, I'm in for that. A Dark Souls-esque baking game. I'm totally in for that.
Dark Souls cross cooking mama.
I'm totally down to play that. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not gonna lie, I would fucking play that game.
So next up on the list, going back to Nintendo for a hot minute, the NES Classic Edition has officially been discontinued.
This one pissed me off. I don't care about the NES Classic really, because honestly, if I'm gonna,
neither do I.
I don't understand how you held stock back. I mean, allegedly held stock back to drive up demand, and then you never brought that stock out. Like,
exactly. Like, what are you doing?
Like, you're literally just giving money to scalpers. I saw a tweet. It was the fake Kazurai Twitter.
I love that Twitter.
He's
that
so
Twitter's
good.
Amazing.
But he posted on Twitter, he was like, Nintendo discontinues NES Classic. Reggie sells his remaining stock in the NES Classic that he has in his basement.
Fucking Reggie. Of course he'd be withholding things for himself. He would be the kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that reminds me, there was another game that they showed off for the 3DS. There's another JRPG that they showed off for the 3DS, which I think would be cool, if not for the fact that it probably does not last long. It was called, I don't know what it's called. Me something.
Is it Miitopia?
Yeah, is it Miitopia? Yeah, Miitopia.
It's Miitopia.
Yeah, it's Miitopia. Similar to Miitomo or the other game that they did, the island one. You know what I'm talking about. The one where it was just your Mii's being weird.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember the name. Those games, the ones where your Mii's are just being weird. It seems like it's a continuation of that series, except it's a JRPG. And yeah, that sounds cool. It sounds like your Mii's will actually fight each other if they don't build rapport with each other, which is kind of cool. But again, JRPG on a 3DS, I think the time's passed. The only part really worth noting is that in the trailer, Bill Trinen was the main villain. So, I can't not like that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So going on from that, Persona 5 recently came out, and it's already moved about 1.5 million copies worldwide.
Wow.
That game's trucking along mighty fine.
I'm not surprised.
I'm totally happy with that. I'm totally happy with that.
I have my copy sitting sealed right above me, and I will play it soon, I hope.
Every goddamn day I'm given more reasons why I need a PS4, but I also need a Switch at the same time, so it's like, I don't know. And this Wii U is right beside me, not doing anything.
Oh, if you sell it now, you'll be able to sell it for like a year for like $600.
Yeah, I know. And even then, I don't think I could bring myself to sell it. Because, like, I recently sold my Xbox One because it's my Xbox One. What the fuck am I going to do with that? But, like, my Wii U, it holds a special place. Like, yeah, it's not that great of a console, but, like, there are games on that thing that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
If anything, I might just sell. I'm honestly, like, one of my titles I'm for sure going to sell is Mario Kart 8 on Wii U because I'm going to be getting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch. So
yeah, there's no real reason to have 8 anymore.
Yeah, I don't really need two copies of the same game.
Yeah, I won't probably ever trade in my Wii U. It's one of those things where
it's going to be too rare.
Well, not even that. The Wii U, and I did a video on this over on my channel, youtube.com/thegoldenbolt. I did I had to throw the plug in there. I did a video where I was talking about how I realized that the Wii U, I went in very skeptical against the Wii U. I was very much one of those people saying, "Oh, it's gonna fucking fit." I was right, and I totally right.
You're totally right.
It turned me around with games like 3D World, which I love 3D World. I think I preferred to Galaxy 1, honestly. Which shoot me now for saying that. But
No. I mean, like, I can see where you're coming from with that because the thing is, I beat 3D World and I've never beaten Galaxy yet. So
I liked Galaxy, but Galaxy didn't really trigger the same pure fun that 3D World did. 3D World was more akin to Mario 64 and how purely fun it was my first time through than Galaxy was. Galaxy 2 is I love Galaxy 2. I haven't beaten it yet, but Galaxy 2, I think if you took Galaxy 1 story and put it in 2, then that'd be the perfect Galaxy game. But
okay.
Anyway, I think games like 3D World, games like Splatoon, a lot of games that I impulse bought because there were no other games for the Wii U, really made me appreciate every single game that it gave me. I would not have played Captain Toad on any other system, but because there were no other fucking games, I got Captain Toad, and that game's fucking good. You know, I would not have bought.
You know, that's a game I completely forgot existed. Sorry to cut you off, but I completely forgot that game existed.
Yeah, and I mean, the Wii U gave us Bayonetta 2. The Wii U gave me, me in particular, Wind Waker HD, a game I was not a fan of the original Wind Waker. Just did not enjoy the concept behind it, really. I didn't like a lot of what I played whenever I would play it, but I bought HD on a whim, and I love Wind Waker now. HD, I don't love the original, but...
Yeah.
You know, a game like Star Fox Zero that everybody hates, and I'm like, hey, that game's pretty good. A game like Star Fox Guard, which is a game everyone hates, and I'm like, hey, that game's kind of shit. You know,
is it actually bad? Is it actually that bad?
It's pretty fucking bad.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really expecting it to be good.
Yeah,
but...
no. I'm pretty sure they sell the game alone at GameStop for $1. So, and it's a Wii U game.
Oh, wow.
It's a Wii U game, so
wow.
That should tell you all you need to know.
Oh, wait, it's like a retail Wii U game?
Yeah, it comes with, if you bought Star Fox Zero when it first came out, it gave you Guard as a bundle. But it's also...
Oh, okay, but nowadays you have to buy it separately.
I think you can buy them both together still, but you won't find it that easily. But
okay.
People traded it in at GameStop, and so there are now retail copies that float around at GameStop.
I see.
But yeah, I don't know. My thing about the Wii U is it really brought me back to gaming in a time where I was really sort of done with gaming for a while. I wasn't like, you know, fuck video games, they're fucking stupid. But
video games were a mistake.
I really didn't play much of video games during that time because I was like my senior year of high school, I think, or my junior year, one of the two. But I really just didn't have time for games because you know I'm a senior, I'm working 30 hours a week, I'm doing other things on top of being a senior, and I don't know, it just brought the kid in me back out. So I'm always going to appreciate it for that.
I think I have a sort of similar thing with me too, where it's like not necessarily to the extent where like it brought back my love for gaming, but it definitely did introduce me to certain things that I would never play. Like I never cared for like the Musou style games until Hyrule Warriors came out, and I found myself to actually really enjoy them now. And like honestly, it was around that time too where I was kind of in that same phase where I was like, okay, video games, I don't really have time for that. But then, you know, there's just something about the Wii U that just made me say, okay, you know what? Let me just pop on my Wii U real quick, sit in bed with the gamepad, and just play through some 3D World. Like, it's just that kind of magical thing. And again, the Switch is also kind of helping to bring that same experience along with it because, hey, you know, you can play it on your monitor or your TV and then bring it into bed with you and just keep playing.
Yeah, no, the Switch is the perfect example of how to take an idea and bring it to its logical conclusion.
Yep.
The one time I was playing Splatoon 1 with my buddy, and so I went to turn on Splatoon 1. I had my whole Switch sitting somewhere. I forget where it was, but I went to turn on Splatoon 1 on my Wii U and everything, and I grabbed the whole Switch with the Joy-Cons attached and everything, and I went to try and control it with that. And my other friend's sitting there next to me, and he goes, "Dude, wrong one." And I'm like, I literally said out of instinct, I don't want to go back. Like, and I felt so bad afterwards because it's wow, like that was fucking harsh, but like it's true. Like after playing the Switch, I cannot go back to the Wii U.
And I can totally understand why, because it's pretty much just taking the Wii U and just making it 1,000 times better. That's really what it is.
What the Wii U really should have been.
Yeah, really. So I can totally see the logic for not wanting to go backwards. And speaking of going backwards, how about that new Mega Man cartoon with that new design, huh?
Did they show more off of that?
I don't think they showed anything. I know they had a trailer for it, which I'm not sure if you saw or not.
I did not.
And okay, so they had a trailer for it, and they also updated quote unquote his design, and it definitely looks better than what it used to. But I'm honestly thinking it only looks better because this one is in 3D, and that one was in like 2D Flash animation style.
I'll have to check it out after this is done, but I didn't mind it in the first place. I thought the original image they showed off was really bad, and then they showed off other ones, and I was like, wow, why did they show off the first one? That one was shit. The other ones are all pretty good.
The same thing, and I'm like, it doesn't look bad. Like, honestly, this kind of looks like if you took Mega Man X and just shrunk him down a little, but then I'm thinking, why even change Mega Man's design in the first place? Like, it's not like the original Mega Man looks bad by any means. He looks perfectly fine. So it's kind of just one of those things like, why bother changing what already worked?
My response to that is Sonic Boom.
Okay, fair. You know what? Fair point.
They did the exact same thing, and in fairness, that show is really fucking good.
Yeah, fair point.
So
fair point.
It's probably their way of appealing to a new market, because I don't think kids today will really appeal to, hey, this guy's blue with underwear. So I can see the reasoning behind it. I don't know if it's necessarily successful reasoning. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm not gonna really nitpick it. I think as long as the show's good, I really don't care what the design looks like because it's passable.
Yeah, because again, at the end of the day, we have to see if the show is quality or not. But it's just that when that first image came out, a lot of people were not inspired with confidence because that again, like you said, that original render looked really bad.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's nothing really. Oh, actually, no. There was one more thing that I want to bring up. The Jack and Daxter games are coming to PS4 as PS2 classics.
The only thing relevant.
All four entries.
The only thing relevant about that to me is that I can finally play more than just the first level of Jack X Combat Racing, because I have owned 2 to 3 copies myself of that game. I have a friend who owned 1 copy of that game. Between the 3 of us, we had 4 PS4s at one point. Actually, 5 with my other friend included. I've never heard of a copy of Jack X Combat Racing that works past the first few levels. We tried every combination on every PS2, and every single time they just crashed and froze. One time I corrupted my entire memory card. That was fun.
Oh gee! Oh wow!
Yeah, that so bad. To be able, I'm hoping that when I buy the PS4 version, because that's the only one I have, the Jack collection on PS3. I don't need to. I actually just played Jack 1 again last week, and I don't need to play Jack 2 ever again. So there's no reason for me to play Jack 1, 2, or 3 and buy them again on PS4, especially because it's not an up-res. I mean, they're going to up-res them to 1080p, but it's just the original games with trophy support. I have the original games in actual upgraded 720p with trophy support. So why the fuck would I need them again? But anyway, I'm hoping that with Jack X, when I play the game, I load it up, I play the first few levels, and then I find out that there's actually no game after the first few levels. And that they actually intentionally made every disc break and freeze at that exact point just to make you think that there are levels.
Wow, that is...
Because that'd be a fucking conspiracy. I would fucking love that.
Honestly... let's see. Let's see what happens. When it comes out, just buy it and see if it crashes again. And if it does...
I think it's going to be $15 or something like that because PS2. But that game is fucking fun. Like, that game is hard, but it's fun. And so it always disappointed me because I'm like, dude, I want to play more of Jack X. Like, it's like my favorite Jack game. Not really anymore, but at the time, it was the only Jack game I played. So, yeah.
The only Jack games I've ever played were... I believe I've only ever played the first one.
Skip 2.
Skip 2?
Well, if you want to play 2, go be my guest, but skip 2.
All right, without like going into detail, like what exactly is wrong with it?
Jack 2 wrong. Is one of the worst games I've ever played.
Wow, that's a statement.
That game got a 9 out of 10 by IGN.
I could totally bring up that old joke, but I'm not going to.
That game. Okay, there are pretty much no checkpoints. You have 8 health, but every enemy in the game, besides the enemy that you see only in the first section, does 2 damage. There are no invincibility frames, so you're going to take 2 hits in a row, which means half your health is gone from any enemy in the game. The enemies do have iframes, I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry. They don't have iframes. I don't want to over-exaggerate here. They don't have iframes, but their attack animations are very fast. The story is a pile of hot garbage straight out of Shadow the Hedgehog, except first. The gameplay. So you know how Jack 1's a platformer? Yeah, fuck that. Yeah. No, Jack 2 is not a platformer. That's fucking pussy shit. We're a GTA game with guns, 3 guns that you can upgrade 4 times, I think. Or I don't know if you can upgrade them in Jack 2. I don't think you can. But they auto lock on. So if you played Ratchet and Clank 1, they play like that, except worse. So you don't even get to aim. You just shoot and hope that it hits the person you want to hit. What else? There's more. Several missions are just god-awful. There's a hoverboard for some reason that it exists. The game Overworld is... So imagine like a GTA Overworld, But imagine that it's a maze. So you can only go from point A to point B through one path. There's not multiple paths. So imagine a square. And say you want to go from the top left to the top right of the map. You can't go straight through. No, the roads don't work that way. You gotta fucking snake your way through to the center of the map, which is a big fucking like little like lake or whatever, and then go up to the right through the other snaky ass path. So the entire overworld is open world without being open in any fucking way. Also, you're on hover vehicles, which control like ass.
Sounds like a winner.
There's more.
Sounds like a winner.
There's more. I can't think of what else there is, but it's not a good game.
You know, I think, honestly, I know you're trying to deter me from playing it, but I think now I'm just more intrigued.
No, I mean, by all means.
Because I want to see how bad it actually can get.
Yeah, no, by all means, play it and just see for yourself, because it's... I've played it twice now, and it does not get better the second time. First time, there were no health drops in my entire playthrough. I don't know what it was, I just didn't get any health drops. So that was fun, because, you know... one enemy does 1/4 of your health, and you get hit twice every time. So, no health drops. Well, then. No checkpoints.
So, like I said, sounds like a winner.
Nothing.
Okay, so on that low note, that's pretty much everything to cover for this week. Any final things you want to add?
Jak 2 is a very bad game.
Okay, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks.
And if you disagree with me, you can dislike my channel at youtube.com/thegoldenbolt. Not the videos, just dislike the channel.
just the channel. That was a nice segue, because I was actually just about to ask you, do you want to plug your channel? Nice job. Okay, anyway, that's everything, folks, for this week. So see you later, and thanks for listening.
Take care, guys.